without hurting each other. Without hurting each other. At the moment they are restricted in open palm because if we everyone, it's another week now. So tonight is the martial talk. Tonight there is quite a big questions, and I would like to share with all of you. Okay, yeah. Now, don't forget the martial side is actually another levels of exercises, and like I said, I'm not a master. Okay, yeah, I'm only a student, so. That's very important because at the end of the day, there's few thousand years of martial knowledge for everyone to learn. Now, martial arts not just monopolized by the Chinese. Don't forget, all over the world, different races would have their own martial arts because we all fight for survival. Don't forget, they're like the olden time, you know, the Greek warriors, the Romans, the Roman Empire, the soldiers, and the Celtics, even the Indians, and even the Zulus. You know, we all have our martial past. So doesn't matter, you know, what different culture. This is a way of us looking after ourselves. Okay, yeah. So don't speak of other people's language. I like the other topics, so I could only share with you my knowledge with the Chinese side. Now, from the records we have 5,000 years of record on the martial side, and tonight we're going to share some for you, okay? Because these are common problem which come up, you know, in our training, these days, okay? It's very important because at the moment the Chinese martial arts side seems, from my personal point of view, because I started training when I was 10 years old, and next year I'll be 70. So I got 60 years of experience, and I witnessed this, you know, the Chinese side, you know, a lot of the time it's going downhill. It's going downhill. So there's a lot of problem, you know, in mainland China, you know, especially in this field. And we have to see to it, because why is it so many thousand years ago? You know, our martial art is so good, and now today it seems that you know, been dragged through the muds. So that's why, as the research fellows, okay, we look into why has it happened and what happened. Can we do a bit better? Okay, of course, about 1.4 billion people population in China. There are some really good martial artists. I'm telling you, you know, I've seen this. Some of, you know, they're really really great, you know. But on the training side, on the martial artists, they are not, I repeat, they are not martial fighter. So get it right first. That means an amateurs, I've said it here, right? Yeah, an amateurs, right? It's not a professional fighter. Okay, yeah. So because I think these points that, you know, a lot of the Chinese, you know, got it wrong, and you know, and they think that they know a few moves and then they are fighters. No, they are very wrong. So tonight we're trying to put that question, you know, on the table so we can talk about it. Okay, yeah. So now I set the title as Synchronized Group Trainings. Are they good or are they bad? So when I say synchronize, it because what we talk about forms, the training forms, because a lot of people, they don't believe in all the forms, or in Japanese, they call it kata, or some people call it sets, right? Because they said, some people got their point because they said that oh, you limit it, you limit it, what are you going to do? So there people have, I just want to do whatever I want to do, express myself. Now, on that issue, they're correct. But on the other issue is, right, yeah, the forms are well-experienced fighters passing down through thousands of years to make it up. So these are the seeds of, the movements. These are the seeds of the movements, okay? But because, like, for example, I'll just give a little example. Like, right, you throw a punch, that's a punch, okay? Yeah, but if the punch go out there, if you have more, a little bit more additional on it, that's 3 hits. So now, first one I punch, you block me, I grab hold of you, and I'll hold up you again. So instead of just a straight punch, my lines I can change. So I hit you different angle. So these become techniques. But the problem is a lot of people, they didn't go through the proper training because they think learn a few forms and they think they can go out to fight, and they come back with broken jaws, right? And it's not very nice, isn't it? So that's why today we're talking about this. Why synchronizing have good points and bad points, okay? Yeah. So from here, I'll just say that it is good in a way that because synchronizing group training, then we can teach, like myself. Okay, I start teaching in the University of London. 21 I was teaching already in the University of North London when I studied architectural design in the gym. So I was quite young. So I can say to you that, yes, I teach also in group, because the group training, you can teach more people instead of one person to another person. So that's a good point of it. On the other hand, because you got the external training and internal training in the Chinese martial arts side. So that's the point that a lot of people didn't know what are the differences. They're all good. They're all good for self-defense, right? The external rely on brutal force, right? Yeah. The internal relied on not brutal force, we call it subtle force. And what are the differences? The differences is from the now still muscular skeletal energy. Remember, not all these Dantian Chi and all these, sent over, from London to America, that kind of energy. Okay, it's energy, but it's muscular energy. So from the external side, I've given a few talks already. So if you look into the video library, you see the differences. Okay, so the external, they use brutal force, which is slow to twitch muscle fibers. All these knees are force. But the female, they don't have that kind of muscle, the bulk of it. So the Chinese twitch it around and say, look, at least give the female or very small frame male a chance against this big, huge muscle, male. Okay. And they don't have the bulk, but they have these ligaments. The ligament is fast, it's a burst of energy. Okay, so that's mainly it distinguishes between external and internal. So also the second difference is external is the we all have whole self-defense, but internal have an extra ability is for self-healing. Is for self-healing, right? So I've been to both. I've been through both. Okay, and when I was young, I was really doing a lot of external, but now, like I said, I'm getting an old man now. I've been swapping around, and I benefit from both sides. Both sides, they are just as important as each other. It's just the training methods a little bit different. It's too much, and also, okay, that's a good point. Okay, so let's see a little bit of the first video, a few minutes, please, and you can see how I take on the synchronizing group teachings over the year. You can see the many different ages. Okay, when you're ready.
Push back. Left ankle.